When it comes to raw power, nothing gives a devil fruit user the edge like a Zoan devil fruit. But which of these fruits is the most beastly of all? Today we're counting down the top 5 strongest devil fruits in One Piece, but quick spoiler warning for some very recently revealed fruits. What is a Zoan in the first place? Well, this category of fruits allows its user to transform into various animals. From cobras to falcons to allosauruses, these fruits bestow the greatest raw strength, endurance, and speed of any fruit category. They even include ancient and mythical subsets, ancient zones being based on extinct creatures, and mythical zones, the rarest of all fruits, being based on mythological figures. And no surprise here, number 5 is already a mythical zone fruit, the Ino Ino no Mi model 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚒𝚑𝚝. Yamato has only been in the series for a really short while, but is already a fan favorite character. And they've already proven themselves to have one of the most powerful fruits in the series, the guardian deity of Wano, the 𝚲𝚘𝚙𝚒𝚒𝚝, that can even go toe to toe with Kaido himself. Okay, hold on. How did I decide on this anyway? Well, this ranking isn't arbitrary. In fact, I've chosen our devil fruit rankings in a highly, more or less scientific manner. In an exhaustive and time-consuming process, we've given all of the series 139 devil fruits a score out of 100 based on 6 different criteria. First, strength. What kind of raw power does this devil fruit have, and how effectively can this fruit attack its opponents and really turn its surroundings to dust? Second, endurance. Does this fruit offer any defensive capabilities or resistances against the attack of others? Third, special abilities. Besides general combat prowess, does this fruit have any secondary abilities worth awarding points? To illustrate an example, Miss Merry Christmas's mole fruit wouldn't have a ton of strength or endurance, but its tunneling abilities would give it several points in this category, as it has. The fourth category is everyday use. Let's say that hypothetically you had this power in real life. How useful would it actually be in non-combat situations? Would the power come in handy even if you weren't engaged in intense pirate battles? In the end, for each single fruit, each of these 4 categories were given a score out of 25 for a grand total of 100 available points. However, there are also 2 additional categories that can deduct points from these scores that we found useful to include. Firstly, we have weaknesses. A great example for a weakness is Enel's natural weakness against rubber. If there are any glaring weaknesses like this, points will be deducted. And second in the negative categories are drawbacks. Are there any problems that arise from having this fruit? An example here would be Whitebeard's Gura Gura no Mi, because even though it is immensely powerful just in raw terms, it also has a high chance of causing a lot of collateral damage to your own allies. Therefore, it will lose a few points in this category. Okay, so back to Yamato's fruit, the 𝚲𝚘𝚎𝚒𝚒𝚝, with a total of 75 points. So let's look at how it earned the number 5 spot. For both strength and endurance, the Makami earned 20 points each. With strength and durability, it's important to factor in the actual user's haki abilities as well, I think. And so Yamato can go toe to toe with Kaido, but a lot of that is due to their haki ability and not necessarily the fruit itself. And so for these point totals, we based Yamato's stats of the strength and endurance of a wolf. While Yamato's fruit is extremely strong, a wolf doesn't have the same kind of raw physical strength or defense that, for instance, a dinosaur or an elephant would have. However, a wolf is not only agile, but is also a fierce predator and earns a lot of points in a lot of these areas. What I think helped the 𝚲𝚘𝚎𝚒𝚑𝚝 beat out a lot of other fruits, though, are its special abilities. Having additional ice powers, almost like a bonus paramecia fruit on top of the benefits of a zone, helped Yamato earn 20 points in this special ability category as well. And I mean, obviously, this category in general yields greater benefits to mythical zones who get all sorts of powers in addition to their basic transformations. For everyday use, Yamato earns a very solid 15 points from me. Having the speed, agility, and strength of a wolf could certainly come in handy in all sorts of situations. And hey, those ice powers are going to come in very handy on a hot summer day, especially here in Japan. It's not the most useful fruit outside of combat, but you will have the frostiest beverages in all of Wano. Also, with the Makami, there are basically no downsides really to it either, except being an extremely good boy, so Yamato doesn't lose any points here. And so on to number 4, the Ryuryu no Mi, I'm gonna slaughter this name, model 𝙤𝚙𝚅𝚝. Total points 86. King's Fruit and other ancient zones are among the toughest of the tough when it comes to strength and endurance. In these categories, King earns a solid 23 points in each. You can't get much stronger than a dinosaur, so the 𝙤𝚙𝚅𝚝, this ancient beast earns more points in these categories than fruits like a giraffe or a leopard, for example. Now, what sets this beast in particular over the edge and makes it one of the greatest zone fruits of all is its special ability, flight. Any flying fruit automatically scores big points for both special abilities and everyday use. In both of these areas, King scores 20 points. Flying grants a huge advantage in combat, and it also helps a fruit user circumvent a lot of the drowning risks that come with having a devil fruit because they can simply fly above the ocean. Very convenient, I will say. Not only that, but just like this gigantic flying beast did in the Cretaceous period, the user of this fruit can stretch their face backwards in order to launch devastating projectile attacks. And as for everyday use, do I really have to explain that? I mean, who among us would not love to have the power of flight? Come on. As for disadvantages, King loses no points really. Lucky for him, there aren't really any downsides to being a flying dinosaur, except I guess for his case specifically, he already has wings, but that's not really a downside either. That's just redundancy. Number 3, the Uo no Mi model Seiryu, the Azure Dragon. Total points 90. Beating out his first mate for the number 3 spot is Kaido himself. Of course, the world's strongest creature had to be on this list. Kaido pretty much scored perfect marks in the strength and endurance categories. He also had perfect marks in the special ability category. I mean, he has the same flight as King, as well as flame clouds that can lift entire islands, and he can kind of control the weather. He also utilizes blast breaths and all sort of other special unique techniques. It really seems like the longer Wano goes on, the more special powers Kaido pulls out. In the end, he gets a really solid 20 points for everyday use as well, because again, flight would just be fantastic to have in real life. However, this is the first fruit where a drawback comes into play as well, because many fruits don't have any drawbacks whatsoever, but there's one big one I can think of when it comes to Kaido. He is massive, just absolutely huge, which is great, don't get me wrong, until you want to fight someone indoors or just, you know, like accidentally transform inside. During the raid on Onigashima, for example, he just had no choice but to take things outside with the 9 scabbards. And his unwieldy size makes him so destructive that he's at risk of destroying things he doesn't really want to destroy, such as his own home. This is great when you're attacking an enemy base without having to hold back, but not so great during an enemy raid. For this drawback, Kaido loses 5 points sadly. Also, there's been some speculation that Kaido's fruit wasn't all that useful when he first got it. As we know, his fruit is not actually a dragon fruit, but a fish fruit. And so it's possible that he only achieved his current strength after a Magikarp-esque ordeal. However, until we get our long-awaited Kaido flashback, we can't allow this theory to affect Kaido's score for now. Up next might be a surprise to many of you who may have expected this fruit to be number 1. With 94 points, we have our number 2, Monkey D. Luffy's fruit, the 𝚤𝚙𝚅𝚝 no Mi model sun god Nika. This is a fruit that we've known for a long time, but not at all, and I've only recently learned it's a mythical zone. It's really difficult to rate given that we haven't seen the full extent of its abilities, but clearly its endurance is just off the charts. Luffy's pliable rubber body can take beating after beating after beating. Its strength is also maxed out given the ability to deliver just about any attack one can imagine. Like punching with a fist the size of an entire island comes to mind, for instance. Its special abilities are of course also crazy, and I'm sure we've only scratched the surface of what Oda has planned for the fruit. So far we've seen Luffy use fire, throw lightning, and imbue both the ground and his opponent with rubber-like qualities as well. These of course are on top of the wide range of abilities that Luffy utilizes in his base form and the other gears. So for each of the first 3 categories, this fruit just earns a perfect 25 points in my opinion. Everyday use gets a solid 20 points as well, a considerable score but not maxed out. He can fly in a roundabout bouncy sort of way, and he can clearly reach hard to reach places. However, it just doesn't have the kind of practical usage that we would like to see from some of the other fruits, for instance. It does, however, also lose a tiny number of points, because unlike a lot of these other devil fruits that don't have a specific weakness, all the way since the East Blue, it's been stated that Luffy is vulnerable to blades and cutting attacks. Recently, even Kaido commented that Luffy is vulnerable to slicing attacks even in Gear 5th. Now, obviously, Luffy has survived plenty of cuts, but since this weakness is explicitly stated so many times, the fruit was docked 3 points in the weakness category. And that's just too unfortunate for Luffy, because coming in at a number 1 with 96 points, just 2 more than the Nika fruit, is the Tori no Mi model Phoenix. Coincidentally, my favorite devil fruit. No bias at all. Now, Marco's fruit gained 22 points for strength and 24 points for durability. While not the most physically powerful Zoan, his regenerative properties assisted a bit with his durability here. Given that he was just fine holding his own against both King and Queen, 2 powerful ancient Zoans with immense raw strength, it made sense to rate these areas pretty highly. His special abilities of course received a perfect score of 25 points as well. Not only does he have the enviable ability to fly, but he can also use his flames to heal others as well, and basically turns him into a Logia devil fruit as well. This also gives him a perfect score in the everyday use category, because being able to heal others would be a wonderful trait to have in the real world. Any hospital would be lucky to have Marco the Phoenix on their staff. And if it should turn out that, just like the mythical creature, Marco is even able to revive from death, this score may become even higher one day. But until then, it's just speculation. With no weaknesses or drawbacks to speak of, the Phoenix is the greatest Zoan devil fruit in One Piece for me. And you've probably noticed that it just so happens that 4 out of 5 of these fruits are mythical types, but just like Luffy's real fruit was only revealed late in the story, that might actually be true as well for Blackbeard. And so, if you want to find out why he might make it onto the list of the top 5 Zoan fruits very soon, you should really not miss out this video right here.